Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today's video is an exciting deep dive into the world of the Washington quarter dollar, one of the most iconic and widely circulated coins in US history. But here's the twist, some of these coins, which might look completely ordinary to the untrained eye, are worth thousands, even millions of dollars in today's market. That we're talking about error coins, rare mintages, and unbelievably preserved examples that can fetch small fortunes at auction. These aren't just coins, their history, artistry, and investment potential all rolled into one tiny piece of metal. So buckle up as we explore the top 6 most valuable Washington quarters ever discovered, including their features, history, rarity, and most importantly, their current estimated market value in today's hot numismatic environment. We're taking a closer look at the 1972 Washington quarter dollar. You might think it's just another old quarter, but stick around because you'll be surprised to learn how much some of these coins have sold for and what makes them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It quickly became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. Fast forward to 1972 and we have the Denver Mint striking millions of these coins with a D Mint mark located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. In that year alone the Denver Mint produced over 311 million quarters. So yes, they're common at first glance. But not all of them are created equal. So what makes a 1972 Washington quarter valuable? First off, let's talk about condition. Like most coins from circulation, the average 1972 quarter will show signs of wear. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition with strong luster and no signs of damage, it can fetch much more than face value. In MS-65 and higher grades, these coins begin to attract collectors and serious buyers. We're talking about coins that have been well preserved, often stored away in rolls or mint sets, never seeing the light of circulation. Now let's talk about errors. This is where things get exciting. Error coins are where the real money is. Some 1972 quarters have been discovered with dramatic mint errors. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. Imagine finding a quarter that was mistakenly struck on a nickel or foreign coin blank. Some of these error coins have sold for hundreds and even over $1,000 at auction. The key here is rarity. The fewer there are of a particular error, the more collectors are willing to pay. Double die errors are particularly sought after. While not as well documented in the 1972 series as in other years, some examples with minor doubling have surfaced. Check your coin under magnification. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date. Any signs of doubling can significantly boost the value. Another thing to look for is high-grade full strike examples. Collectors value quarters with full details, especially on the eagle on the reverse. Look for sharp feathers and clear details. Coins with full strikes are rarer than you think, especially from a heavily circulated year like 1972. Grading plays a major role in determining value. The difference between a coin graded MS-64 and MS-66 can be hundreds of dollars. That's why many collectors send their coins to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC to get an official grade and authentication. Let's look at some real market examples. A 1972 quarter graded MS-67 by PCGS sold for over $300 in a recent auction. Why? Because at that grade level it's nearly flawless and there are very few in that condition. Another coin with an off-center strike and a bold mint error sold for over $1,000. Yes, $1,000 for a coin that originally cost 25 cents. Not bad, right? So you're probably wondering, how do you find one of these valuable coins? First, start by checking your change. Most people overlook quarters and focus only on pennies or silver coins. But valuable quarters are out there. Get a magnifier and examine those D Mint mark quarters from 1972. Look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, missing details, or anything unusual. If you find something that looks out of the ordinary, compare it to known errors online or have it examined by a coin expert. Also check out coin shops, flea markets, garage sales, and even old piggy banks. People often don't realize they're sitting on collectible coins. If you're serious about coin collecting, it pays to do your homework and stay informed. That's what this channel is all about. So let's recap. The 1972 D Washington quarter might be common, but there are versions out there that are worth big money. Look for high-grade examples, mint errors, and coins with strong detail. If you have one that stands out, consider getting it graded. The coin market is hot right now, and collectors are always searching for rare and unique coins to complete their sets. We dig deep into the world of rare coins, hidden gems, and the incredible stories behind the change in your pocket. Today we're talking about one of the most intriguing quarters from the early 2000s, the 2003 Arkansas State Quarter, including both the Denver Mint, marked with AD, and the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P. These quarters may seem ordinary at first glance, but some of them are worth a whole lot more than just 25 cents. Let's break it all down: the history, the rare errors, the collector value, and what these coins are really going for in today's market. The Arkansas State Quarter was the 25th quarter released in the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program. It was issued in 2003, representing the state of Arkansas, which became the 25th state in the Union back in 1836. The design on the reverse side features a beautiful diamond, a nod to the crater of Diamond State Park, the only public diamond mine in the U.S., along with a mallard duck flying above a lake and pine trees in the background. It's a nature lover's design, and one that collectors really appreciate for its detail and symbolic richness. Over 457 million Arkansas quarters were minted between Philadelphia and Denver, with the Denver Mint producing about 229 million and the Philadelphia Mint about 228 million. So at first glance, these coins don't sound rare at all, and the regular circulated examples aren't. Most 2003 Arkansas quarters in average circulated condition are only worth their face value. But here's where it gets exciting: certain versions of the 2003 Arkansas quarter, especially those in pristine, uncirculated condition or with special mint errors, can fetch serious money. For example, a standard 2003 D Arkansas quarter graded MS-68 by PCGS, which means it's in near-perfect mint state condition, has sold for over $700 at auction. That's a massive jump from just 25 cents. The same goes for the Philadelphia version. A 2003 P Arkansas quarter graded MS-68 has reached sale prices in the range of $400 to $600 depending on the quality of the strike and the level of eye appeal. There are far fewer high-grade coins than you might think, because quarters used in commerce usually get scratched or worn quickly. That's why gem mint state examples are so desirable to collectors, but we're not done yet. Error coins are where things get really interesting. There are Arkansas State quarters with striking errors, off-center errors, double die errors, and even die breaks or cuts. These can range in value from $50 to several $100s or more depending on the rarity and the visibility of the error. One dramatic off-center strike on a 2003 Arkansas quarter sold for over $300. A double die reverse with noticeable doubling in the word Arkansas or the lettering of United States of America could be worth several $100s or even more if certified by a reputable grading company. Collectors always seek the unique. If your quarter has an unusual look, a doubled image, or a mint mistake, don't spend it. Get it checked out. Now let's talk about proof coins. The U.S. Mint also struck special collector versions of the Arkansas quarter in both silver proof and clad proof formats. These coins were not meant for circulation and were only sold in special sets. The silver proofs, struck in San Francisco and marked with an S, contain 90% silver. These coins can be worth $10 to $20 depending on condition, but high-graded deep cameo silver proofs can be worth even more, sometimes over $50 if graded PR70 by PCGS or NGC. So what's the current market like in 2025? Right now, collector demand for the state quarters, especially those with top grades or dramatic errors, is still strong. Many people are going back to finish their collections and are looking for high-quality examples. Certified MS-67 and MS-68 coins continue to perform well on auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections. And here's a bonus tip. If you find Arkansas quarters still sealed in U.S. Mint rolls or mint sets from 2003, those could be worth more than face value even if they haven't been graded. Dealers and collectors alike often pay a premium for unopened original rolls because there's always a chance of finding a top-grade coin inside. So to wrap it all up, the 2003 Arkansas State Quarter might not seem rare at first glance, but under the right conditions, with high grades, rare errors, or silver-proof status, these coins can be worth big money. Whether it's a $700 MS-68, a $300 off-center strike, or a stunning silver-proof, this is one state quarter you don't want to overlook. So check your change, search your coin jars, and if you have any 2003 Arkansas quarters, take a second look. You might be holding a miniature treasure. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about and often misunderstood modern coins in the collecting world, the 2013 D quarter dollar. This coin comes from the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a special series that ran from 2010 through 2021 featuring iconic national parks and historic sites across the United States. Now you might be thinking, how could a coin minted as recently as 2013 possibly be worth big money? The answer lies in the details: the mint mark, condition, errors, rarity, and of course, collector demand. So let's break it down. In 2013, the United States Mint released 5 different quarter designs under the America the Beautiful series. These were White Mountain National Forest in New Hampshire, Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio, Great Basin National Park in Nevada, Fort McHenry National Monument in Maryland, and Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota. Each of these quarters was struck at multiple mints, including Denver, which used the D mint mark. When we talk about the 2013 D quarter, we're talking about coins that were minted in Denver and carry that D mark on the front next to Washington's portrait. While millions of these coins were produced, not all quarters are created equal. Most circulate widely and end up in pocket change, but a few rare examples were struck with errors or survived in pristine condition. And those are the ones that collectors go crazy for. Let's talk about errors. Some 2013 D quarters were struck with off-center errors, die cracks, or double dies. These errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin. For example, a 2013 D Mount Rushmore quarter with a dramatic die clash or doubling on the reverse has sold for over $100 depending on condition and visibility. One rare variety from the 2013 D Fort McHenry issue shows doubling on the fireworks, which collectors seek for its visual appeal and rarity. If you find a coin like this, you might be holding on to a small treasure. Condition is another key factor. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state 65 and above being considered choice uncirculated. If a 2013 D quarter is graded mint state 67 or higher by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC, it could be worth hundreds of dollars simply because of how rare it is in that high grade. For example, a 2013 D Perry's Victory quarter in MS-68 sold for over $500 in auction. That's a huge return for a modern quarter, especially one you could still find in change if you're lucky. Now let's talk about the market. As of now, in 2025, coin values fluctuate based on demand. The America the Beautiful series has grown steadily in popularity, and certain designs have emerged as collector favorites. The Mount Rushmore design stands out for its iconic imagery and strong sales in the coin collecting community. The Fort McHenry and White Mountain quarters also hold solid demand. A standard circulated 2013 D quarter might only be worth 25 cents, but if it's in uncirculated condition or has an error, it can bring in significantly more. Certified high-grade examples continue to set records at online auctions, coin shows, and private sales. So how do you know if you have a valuable one? First, check for the mint mark. You want that D for Denver. Next, look for any unusual features like doubling, off-center strikes, or surface damage that might actually be a mint-made error. Finally, consider the condition. If it looks clean, crisp, and has no signs of wear, you may want to get it graded. In summary, the 2013 D quarter dollar coins are part of an important modern series with growing collector interest. While most of these coins won't break the bank, rare varieties, high-grade examples, and error coins can be worth big money, sometimes hundreds of dollars. Keep an eye out in your change, check your coin jars, and don't overlook these modern pieces. The next valuable coin could be sitting right in your pocket. We're diving deep into a coin that might be hiding right in your pocket, purse, or coin jar, the 2016 P quarter dollar. These coins might seem ordinary at first glance, but some rare editions have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Let's explore the full story, from minting to market. First, let's break down what the 2016 P quarter dollar actually is. In 2016, the United States Mint continued its America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010. This program featured 5 new reverse designs each year, celebrating national parks and historic sites from each state and U.S. territory. The P Mint mark on these coins stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which produced millions of these quarters. In 2016, 5 quarters were released as part of the America the Beautiful series. These included Shawnee National Forest in Illinois, Cumberland Gap in Kentucky, Harper's Ferry in West Virginia, Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and Fort Moultrie at Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Each of these quarters has its own story, design, and significance. But not all of them are created equal, especially when it comes to rare errors, special varieties, and current collector demand. Let's start with the Shawnee National Forest quarter. This coin was released in February 2016 and features a stunning image of Camel Rock in the Garden of the Gods. Some rare Shawnee quarters from Philadelphia have been found with double die obverse errors. These doubling errors can appear on the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." If you find one of these, even in circulated condition, it could be worth $50 to $200 or more depending on the severity and clarity of the doubling. Next up is the Cumberland Gap quarter. Released in April of 2016, this coin shows a frontiersman gazing toward the west, symbolizing early American exploration. Some 2016 P Cumberland Gap quarters have been discovered with die chips, cuds, and strike-through errors. While minor errors may fetch only $5 to $15, major or dramatic strike-through errors can go for hundreds at auction. Moving on to the Harper's Ferry quarter, released in June 2016. This coin depicts John Brown's Fort, a key site in the history of the Civil War and abolitionism. While millions were minted, some Harper's Ferry quarters from Philadelphia are known for strong doubling and partial collar strikes. High-quality examples with visible doubling or dramatic off-center strikes have sold for $100 to $500. Then there's the Theodore Roosevelt quarter, one of the most visually striking coins in the series. Released in August 2016, it shows President Roosevelt on horseback surveying the North Dakota Badlands. Some Roosevelt quarters have appeared with impressive reverse die cracks or rotated die errors. In mint state, even without errors, these coins can sell for $10 to $30 if graded MS67 or higher by professional coin grading services. Finally, we have the Fort Moultrie quarter. Released in November 2016, this quarter honors the Battle of Sullivan's Island during the American Revolutionary War. Error coins from the Philadelphia Mint include clipped planchets and strong die breaks. These types of errors are highly collectible and can range from $50 to over $300 depending on condition and uniqueness. Now let's talk numbers. In terms of regular issue coins with no errors, the Philadelphia Mint produced between 150 million and 350 million of each of the 5 quarters in 2016. That means most of these coins are only worth face value, 25 cents, unless they are in mint state condition or have a rare error. However, graded coins make a big difference. A 2016 P quarter graded MS68 by PCGS or NGC can fetch between $100 and $500 depending on the specific design and current demand. These are extremely high grades that represent almost flawless coins. Collectors also value special varieties like double dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. A 2016 P quarter struck on a dime planchet, for example, could sell for over $1,000 at auction. Similarly, a full blockage or a major die cap error can command prices in the 4-figure range. So what should you look for in your change? First, check the mint mark. You want coins with a P for Philadelphia. Then examine the details closely. Look at the inscriptions for signs of doubling. Flip the coin and see if the reverse is rotated. Feel for any raised areas that shouldn't be there. These might be die breaks or cuts. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe for better inspection. That if you find something unusual, compare it with listings on coin error websites or consult a coin dealer. But be careful, some errors are only worth a few bucks, while others are genuine treasures. The more dramatic and rare the error, the higher the value. As of now, in mid-2025, the market for 2016 P quarters remains strong, especially for coins with certified grades or major mint errors. Some collectors are specifically hunting for America the Beautiful quarters to complete their sets, and others are zeroing in on rare variants that could increase in value over time. To wrap it all up, the 2016 P quarter dollar coins may not look special, but they carry history, artwork, and hidden worth. From double dies to die breaks, and from mint state gems to dramatic errors, these coins can be worth far more than just 25 cents. If you take the time to look through your change, you might just find a small fortune waiting in plain sight. We dive into one of the most talked about modern coins among collectors and treasure hunters. That's right, we're talking about the 2018 P quarter dollar coins. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, but some of them are worth serious money. Whether you just found one in your pocket change or you're hunting rolls, here's everything you need to know about the 2018 P quarters and why some of them could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's start with the basics. In 2018, the United States Mint released 5 different America the Beautiful quarter designs. Each of these quarters features a different national site on the reverse and was issued in limited runs throughout the year. The P Mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint, and many of these coins were circulated widely. But not all 2018 quarters are created equal. Here are the 5 designs released in 2018 under the America the Beautiful quarters program. The first is the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore quarter from Michigan. Second is the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore quarter from Wisconsin. Third is the Voyageurs National Park quarter from Minnesota. Fourth is the Cumberland Island National Seashore quarter from Georgia. And finally, the Block Island National Wildlife Refuge quarter from Rhode Island. Each of these coins has its own collectible appeal. But what really drives up the value are mint errors, varieties, and coins in exceptional condition. Let's break that down. First up, error coins. These are coins that were struck incorrectly at the mint. Errors like double dies, die cracks, cuds, and off-center strikes can be worth big money. One of the most notable 2018 quarter errors is the 2018 P Cumberland Island quarter with a double die reverse. On some examples, the bird's wings appear to be doubled, especially along the tips and feathers. These can sell for between $50 and $150 depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's condition. Next, die chips and cuds are fairly common on 2018 quarters, especially in the Block Island and Pictured Rocks designs. A cud is a raised, blob-like mark on the coin caused by a piece of the die breaking off. Some cud errors on the Block Island quarter near the bird's beak or wing have sold for between $30 to $100. Then we have strike-through errors, where foreign material like grease or debris interfered during the minting process. These can be dramatic and increase a coin's uniqueness and value. Now let's talk about condition. If your 2018 P quarter is in mint state, meaning it hasn't been circulated and has no wear, it could already be worth more than face value. Coins graded MS66 or higher by PCGS or NGC can bring premium prices at auction. A 2018 P Apostle Islands quarter graded MS67 has sold for over $300 at auction. That's a 25-cent coin turned into serious cash, but even in circulated condition, certain varieties and errors are still in demand. Collectors love finding unusual traits like doubling, misplaced mint marks, or small die cracks that make the coin one of a kind. Let's not forget about low population grades. The fewer coins graded at a high level, the more valuable they become. If you manage to find a 2018 P quarter in MS68 condition, which is extremely rare, you could be looking at over $500 or more depending on the design and demand. So what should you be looking for? First, check all 2018 P quarters under a strong magnifying glass or microscope. Look at the details on the reverse for doubling, especially wings, trees, or letters. Check the rim for off-center strike. Search for raised blobs near the edge. Those could be valuable die chips. And always look for Pristine, shiny coins with no scratches or contact marks. Here's a quick list of 2018 P quarter values for the most valuable coins as of current market data. Cumberland Island quarter double die reverse, up to $150. Block Island cut error, $30 to $100. Pictured rocks with strike-through grease error, up to $75. Any 2018 P quarter graded MS67 or higher, $100 to $500 or more depending on the design. Rare double dies in Apostle Islands and Voyagers designs, up to $200. Now, the big question, what is the current market doing? As of this year, the demand for error coins is stronger than ever. With more people getting into coin collecting and investing, prices for high-grade and error quarters have climbed. Dealers and collectors are paying top dollar for rare examples, and even raw coins on eBay are fetching impressive premiums if they show clear doubling or damage from mint errors. So don't ignore those pocket change quarters. The next time you get change at the store or bank, take a minute to look at the date and mint mark. If you spot a 2018 P, give it a closer look. You might be holding a tiny treasure. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in the collecting world, the 2020 P quarter dollar coins. Believe it or not, some of these coins are worth much more than their face value, and in this video, we'll explore why. We'll look at their historical context, key varieties to watch for, and their current market value in 2025. So make sure to watch all the way through, because you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Let's start with some background. In 2020, the United States Mint continued the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010 and ran until 2021. The year 2020 featured 5 unique quarter designs, each representing a different national site. These designs were released in honor of the following locations: National Park of American Samoa, Ware Farm National Historic Site in Connecticut, Salt River Bay National Historical Park in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Marsh Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park in Vermont, and Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve in Kansas. All of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But for this video, we're focusing specifically on the 2020 P quarters, which were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and can be identified by the small letter P on the obverse, or head side, of the coin, just beside George Washington's portrait. Now let's get into what makes these coins interesting to collectors and potentially very valuable. In early 2020, a very unique situation arose. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, coin production and distribution were impacted. This led to lower mintages for some coin series and increased demand in the numismatic market. Also, more people were going through pocket change during lockdowns, leading to the discovery of unusual and rare errors. Among the 2020 P quarters, several error varieties and high-grade coins have drawn huge attention from collectors. Let's start with the 2020 P American Samoa Bat quarter, which is probably the most famous of the 2020 coins. This coin features 2 Samoan fruit bats hanging upside down. It's a memorable and unique design that sparked immediate public interest. Some versions of the 2020 P bat quarters with specific die breaks, doubling, or off-center strikes have sold for hundreds of dollars. Even regular high-grade examples certified MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC have sold for upwards of $50 to $150. Next up is the Ware Farm quarter, another favorite among collectors. A particularly valuable 2020 P Ware Farm quarter is the one with a WDDR-001 variety, also known as the double die reverse. These errors happen when the reverse design is struck twice with a slight shift, leading to visible doubling, especially in the letters or structures. Some of these varieties have been sold for over $200 in top condition. Then we have the Salt River Bay quarter, which depicts a red mangrove tree with twisting roots. Collectors have reported significant die chips and interior die breaks on this coin, particularly on the branches. Some error versions of this quarter have gone for over $100, even in circulated condition. The Marsh Billings Rockefeller quarter comes next. This coin celebrates conservation and the legacy of forestry in the United States. Some collectors have reported retained cut errors, rim cuts, and doubling on the obverse motto. These types of errors are considered valuable, especially when found early in a coin's release cycle. Prices for these coins with dramatic errors can exceed $75 and up depending on condition. Finally, there's the Tallgrass Prairie Quarter, which has seen strong collector interest. This coin shows a beautiful depiction of tallgrass swaying in the Kansas wind. The most sought-after versions of the 2020p Tallgrass Quarter include those with dramatic die breaks and extra leaf varieties. Some certified coins with known errors have fetched between $100 to $300 at online auctions. So what about the current market value in 2025 for these 2020p quarters? If you have a standard circulated 2020p quarter without any errors or high grade, it's typically worth face value, just 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples or those in mint sets could be worth between $1 to $3 depending on the specific design and current demand. If your coin is graded MS65 or higher by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, the value increases. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 can range from $25 to over $200, depending on scarcity and condition. For error coins, especially those with well-documented varieties like die clashes, cuds, off-centers, or double dies, values can range from $50 to over $500. The rarest error coins, especially those with eye-catching or dramatic mistakes, can sell for over $1,000 if the right buyer comes along. So here's what you should do. First, check your change. Look closely at any 2020 quarters with the P mint mark. Second, examine the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for doubling in the letters or numbers, cuds on the edges, or unusual marks or shapes that don't belong. Third, if you believe you have a high grade or error coin, consider sending it to a grading service. Yes, there's a cost involved, but it's often worth it for coins that could be valuable. And lastly, keep an eye on auction sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions to see what similar coins are selling for. The market changes constantly, and staying informed gives you the edge. To wrap it up, the 2020p quarter-dollar coins are far more than just everyday change. Between the eye-catching designs, the historical moment of their release, and the rare errors and varieties, these coins have captured the attention of collectors all over the world. You never know, that one quarter in your pocket could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more coin collecting content. Drop a comment below if you found any 2020 quarters or rare coin treasures in your own collection. I love hearing your stories. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck treasure hunting.